Give everyone at your next event a super awesome mix with our mixtape cards. Each one comes with a personalized message and photo along with a QR code that takes them to your mix on whatever streaming service they use: Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or YouTube. They're perfect for birthdays, weddings, graduations, and even holiday cards. Go to superawesomemix.com/mixtapes and bring back the magic of the mixtape at your next special occasion. Welcome back to another super awesome mix. My name is Matt Sidhom, alongside not my co-host and co-founder, Sam Alvig-Salvi, but rather our other host on the Super Awesome Mix Podcast Network, the hostess with the mostest. She is the host of What Are You Listening To? And my co-host on The Battle. Joining me this week is Jen Tully. Hi, Jen.
Hey there. I'm so happy to be here this week.
Yes. Sam's going to be out for a little bit, so Jen's going to join me on an episode or two or three. So yeah, you get a little bit more of us, but of course you can listen to The Battle week after week. We're in the thick of it right now. Yacht rock battle, trying to decide the ultimate yacht rock song. But Jen, I don't think we have. I mean, we're doing new music this week, and I don't think we have any yacht rock candidates on this mix, right?
We do not. No yacht rock here, not to speak of. Actually, quite the opposite in a lot of ways. Some of these tracks are definitely not yacht rock.
Not yacht rock at all. Well, Sam may not be here, but I mean, we couldn't let this one slip off our radar. So your first pick, it's Everybody Scream by Florence and the Machine.
Oh my goodness, yes. This is for Sam and I. I think we are going to be in deep conversation about this one once the album drops. I'm so excited. She's got Florence and the Machine have a new album. Their 6th studio album is coming out on October 31st, Halloween. And with the name of this song, you can imagine that, from the very beginning of this track, you're in for some witchy shit, right? Like, that is what I love about Florence. Like, you're going to get in there. It's going to feel like a ceremony. It's going to be very empowering. It's going to feel almost like a ritual. Like, that's almost how I think of her music and especially her concerts, like her live music experience. And I just think that this song specifically is going to be so fun live. That's something I'm super excited to chat about too, is can you feel I don't know that you've ever been to a Florence and the Machine concert, Matt, but you're missing out. I'll say that first. They're amazing. I mean, she works a crowd like nobody's business. She's running here and there in her, nightgown and bare feet and all of the things that she does. And I have to say, at the last show we went to, I cried, I laughed, I sang, I danced, all the things that she's talking about in this song. I just think it's going to be so fun live. So that's something that I'm super excited about this track too. And I think that this is such a thinly veiled metaphor for fame. That's what this song is about to me. She's singing about how it's so taxing to emotionally give of yourself, the kind of performance that she gives every night. But she has this great line, but how can I slow down, or how can I stop when everybody's screaming my name? I'm oh, that's got to be like a drug, right? I mean, think about being on a stage with that many people screaming for you that paid money to be there. What must that feel like? Tell me, Matt, what must that feel like?
Well, I'm glad you asked. That's a perfect transition. It feels pretty good, I got to tell you.
I know you fill stadiums all the time, so this
constantly,
is old hat for you.
No, we did the live show tour a couple years ago, and did seven nights at the Meadowlands. It was unbelievable.
Right.
I've not seen her live, but I do think it would be an amazing live show just because she brings so much emotion to her studio albums, right? You feel the emotion just from the studio version. So I can't even imagine what she's bringing to the live shows, right? You got to figure when they're a little bit more low key. I mean, we've all seen live bands, right? And the studio version is one thing, but a lot of times, you get one of two things. Either the live version is just carbon copy. This is how they sang it in the studio. or it's just a completely different experience, right? And usually for the better. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'd imagine this is pretty incredible. So I will look out if she's rolling through Dallas or somewhere nearby. I may have to go check it out. And this one is great. I think it's so appropriate. It's coming out on Halloween because you're right.
Yeah.
Just from the get go, it's like, yeah, this feels a little scary, right?
Yeah.
And you're right. I bet fame is a little bit scary, even though so many people now, what do they say? Young people now, everybody wants to be a YouTuber and wants to be
Right.
like this famous person, but it's like, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not as great as you think it is, or as great as it looks. There's definitely some perks, I'm sure, but yeah, I think here she probably kind of hits both sides of it. It's probably pretty incredible, but probably pretty suffocating as well.
Yeah, I think that that's so true. And the last thing I'll say before we head into track two is just I love too that she talks about how when she's performing, she can grow, she can be big, she can be
Yeah.
her full self and her full potential. Like there's a great line that says, "Here, I don't have to be quiet. Here, I don't have to be kind, extraordinary, and normal all at the same time." And you're just like, whoa, I don't know, like a woman in the world probably that can't relate to that. We're always
Well,
being told to be quiet or be less or calm down or whatever. So I love that she has this space where she can go and just be as big and as loud as she wants to be and not worry about it.
there's a really cool show on Netflix. I mean, it's about the WWE and professional wrestling, right? And it's called Unreal. And they show these guys kind of backstage and sort of who they normally are. And all of them kind of talk about how, yeah, well, that guy out there or that girl out there, that's who this person is. So it's like they've all talked about, if you've heard professional wrestlers talk, that it's kind of this little part of themselves that they just sort of blow up and sort of get big, if you will. And
Yep.
that's sort of the ones who kind of get over, if you will, and get big with the crowds. But it was cool to see that sort of in the professional wrestling sense. But I think it hits exactly on what you're talking about there.
It does. Well, and talking about great live shows and fun people to go see, let's transition to track two, which is your first pick and a song that we actually both chose this week.
Yes.
But I pivoted because I love this song. I'm so excited to talk about it. And your pick is Sally When the Wine Runs Out by Role Model.
Yeah, this is such a fun song. Role Model is just one guy. It's Tucker
Yeah.
Harrington Pillsbury. He's from a small town in Maine. I lived in Maine for 3 years. I can tell you where he lives is a very small town, but relative to most cities everywhere in Maine is a pretty small town. This guy's funny. He started out as a rapper, right? Like came out and actually had like some early like his early recordings. He considered himself a rapper, and then
Oh,
he kind of shifted a little bit. And he kind of, I don't know, I guess you can call the bridge of the song a little bit of a rap, but the rest of it is pretty far from it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's such a fun song. Lyrically, I'll buy a couple of rounds. Don't let me think I'm enough, and then disappear when the wine runs out. So he's kind of just he's enjoying hanging out with this girl, but it's like he's just worried she's just kind of there for the free drinks. So really, really cool song, and I'm excited to kind of get into more of his work.
yeah, I love this song too. And I mean, what girl's not gonna say yes to a couple of free drinks? I mean, yes, it's not very nice, and I hope the times have changed. But that used to sort of be an MO when we would go out, like, "Hey, anybody have any money? No? Oh, okay, well, let's go where we think we can get our drinks bought for us." Sorry, guys, let you behind the pink curtain there, but that
Yeah,
happens.
that happens. I'm sure it
That happens.
happens. Yeah.
But I think that this song is so fun. I like how vulnerable he is in it. I love that it's like a sing along. I love, love, love that this summer on tour, he's been pulling Sally's, I'm air quoting, from the audience for this song. So at every tour stop, he'll pull a famous person up on stage to dance during the chorus into that. Oh no, here we go
Yeah, yeah.
again. That part. And so he's had, I mean, everybody, Kate Hudson did it, Natalie Portman, Olivia Rodrigo, in San
Wow.
Francisco, Troye Sivan was his Sally. When he was on morning TV, Al Roker was his Sally, Renee Rapp, Bowen Yang, his mom, like all of these people have gotten to be Sally for him. I think that's such a fun, like, gimmick, if you will, but like works for this song. So if you've
I love
not
that Al
Googled,
Roker. I love
Al
that
Roker
Al
did
Roker
it.
is up there.
Al
Yeah.
Roker was his Sally when he was on Good Morning America, Today Show. I'm not sure which one. I don't get up that early. I don't watch them.
Today Show, maybe? I don't
Today, Good
know. I
Morning
don't.
America, one of them. He
Yeah.
was on that, and Al Roker came up and did the Sally routine. But
Anyway,
if
Al
you have not,
Roker's joining the show next week. So let's we'll cut that part out on the edit.
well, yeah,
No,
right,
I'm
he'll know.
joking.
Watch the videos. If you haven't seen him pulling his Sallys on stage, they're very fun.
I
Natalie
think that's
Portman's
awesome.
is really
Yeah.
fun. Troye Sivan's is really fun. So look for his Sally concert videos from this summer.
I like it. I like it. All right, track 3, your next pick. It is Rabbit Run by Idols.
All right. This is a good one. This is a gritty one. I like this one. So, this is from a new movie that just came out called Caught Stealing, with the beautiful Austin Butler, who was just here in Austin, Texas, promoting this movie and causing quite a stir. Matthew McConaughey came out and they did a big intro for the film, and so like the whole city was in a stir with Austin Butler and Matthew McConaughey running around all night. And it was
now what's interesting about that pairing is both of them thought I'm way better looking than this guy.
Probably, and
As
they
they're looking
probably are
at
right.
each other, they're both kind of right and both kind of like, huh.
Yeah.
But that's a real like good looking off right there,
First, well, and Austin Butler's like, oh, that's what it's going to be like when I'm distinguished, right?
That's me in 30 years. Wow, look at that.
I'm going to be that cool.
Huh,
I'm going to be that cool.
Okay.
But yeah, they definitely caused a ruckus in the city, and I feel like this song is like the perfect soundtrack almost to that. It's sort of this gritty, it feels very Idols, who I love. I love this band. Joe Talbot, who's the lead singer. I love his Cockney accent. It just gives it like an extra like grittiness to me. But there's a part where he's talking about something pressing on me. Well, I'll read the whole lyric. He has a great lyric that says, "Come to me like a boa snake, pressing on me like a toothache, beat you slow like your padre, got you running like a jailbreak." And I'm like, okay, that's pretty clever. I like that. But again, back to the Cockney part, he doesn't say toothache, he says toothache. And I'm like, that's genius. I love that. It just sounds like so British and hardcore to me. And then while we're on toothache, just a fun fact, the guitarist in Idols, Mark Bowen, is also a dentist. I'm done.
Wow. Now that is an amazing fun fact.
There you go. Yeah.
Would not have guessed that in a million years.
Also a dentist. Yeah. There you go.
Wow. I also wonder when people hear too fake if they are like interpreting the song in a completely different way because they don't realize it's an accent, right?
Yeah, like pressing on you like you're too fake.
Like you're too fake. Yes.
And it's like TOO instead of like
T-O.
a toothache.
That's right.
Well,
That's
I'll go watch your My Fair Lady, folks, if you're not familiar with a Cockney accent, and we'll reconvene.
This song was really cool. Like just from the jump, I could totally see it being in a movie, right? Like it had kind of a montage feel to it. Not in like a cheesy montage, but actually like something kind of cool, right? And so when you read the title, like Caught Stealing, I kind of immediately in my mind I went to the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, right? With Nicolas Cage, and I could kind of see this running through that movie as well. But obviously the character's going through some tough times, right? Like you can get that for sure from the lyrics. But you're right. I just love the whole vibe here, and they're kind of. I saw the label post-punk as for them as a band, which I think I had not heard before. It's just kind of post-punk. I don't know if that's just sort of a way to call it modern punk, or if there is something different about post-punk. But you definitely get the punk feel from it for sure.
Yeah, you do. You definitely do. Well, moving into your second pick and our fourth track, we have a song called "Miss You Man" by Old Dominion.
Yeah, it's a little new country. And Sam definitely hates just country. And I know you're not a fan of new country. Okay.
Correct. Country music after 1989 does not exist for
me. I featured Old Dominion on the show before. I really like the way Matthew Ramsey, their lead singer, sounds, right? Like I love his voice. He's got a real smoothness to it. This is borderline kind of like a lot of new country. It's kind of borderline poppy. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey man, this is that classic country sound. Right. But I think what got me on this one, right, is just lyrically and thematically, this one because my best friend passed away a few years ago, and there's a line in here where he says he heard a joke that only you would get.
Yeah.
Right. And he kind of had to laugh. And like and I totally related to that because that's happened to me. I don't know how many times over the last few years. And so I thought it was great that he kind of captured that within a song, that it's not this overly, at least in my mind, it wasn't overly sappy, kind of about missing someone. There weren't a lot of tears in the song. It's not like that. Right. It's just, I think, this very guy centered emotion, right? Like it's a very like, this is how guys will think about each other, or whatever it is. And it's just this kind of baseline, like, hey, I miss you, that sort of thing. So I thought they did a good job of that too, of kind of capturing emotions that I think guys have a hard time articulating a lot of times.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's funny. I was teasing a little bit before we started recording that I wondered how much new country I was going to have to slog through on this new September new music mix. But I have to say, this one, the only thing I will disagree about is that I felt
Mhm.
like it was a tearjerker. I found
Okay.
myself weeping to this song.
Okay.
Like it made me cry, and it might still as we're talking about it, because I think that I think it speaks to, certainly in the song, this man lost a very close friend of his and he's
Yeah.
singing about it, but it sounds like this person died. But I think it also speaks to like when friendships just sort of run their course,
Mm.
and for whatever reason somebody's not there, either literally or figuratively, like they're gone from your life, and sort of that hole that it leaves, and just that instant instinct that you have to connect with them on things. Like you said, for you, the line about the joke stood out. And for
Yeah.
me, the line that stood out was, yeah, I miss you, man, when I hear the band in the bar on 5th and Main. Yeah, we tore it up, but I don't go there much anymore. It just ain't the same. And
Hmm.
that really related to me, like places, like where you've
Yeah.
gone with somebody that's
Yeah.
such a close friend, and just like it's almost like that place is dead to you too when that
Yeah.
person's not there, because it's just too painful to go back and remember all the good times. And I always hope, like, maybe it won't always be like that. Like maybe there'll be a time when I'll find comfort in those old things that we used to do. But right now it's too soon. It's too fresh. But I thought that this was, like you said, just a beautifully written song. And it felt very much like two guys just like,
Yeah.
oh, like even every time he says miss you, man, like you feel it, like he
Yeah.
really misses this person. So I felt like it definitely connotated the emotion it was supposed to, and it hit me right in the heart,
Nice.
even though it was old, or it was new
It's
country.
new country. It's new country. All right. Well, let's move on to something that's definitely not new country. Okay. Your next pick. This is Dealer by Lola Young.
So Lola Young is having a moment right now, right? Like she's almost like, I liken her to, like, she's like the musical version of the character that Megan Stalter plays in Too Much. I don't know if anybody out there has watched Too Much, but that's what this is to me. This
I don't know that reference at all.
Oh my gosh. So Too Much is the new show by Lena Dunham, right? The girl that created
Okay.
Girls.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
She has
Okay.
a new show that's kind of like autobiographical loosely. And Megan Stalter has just blown up playing this character. She's great in it. And so Lola Young is like the musical embodiment of that. My girls out there are going to understand. But she had a song called Messy that was from her album in 2024 called This Wasn't Meant for You Anyway. I think she might have been talking to you, Matt.
Hey,
But
I fully admit when I'm not in the demo. I
when
say that
you're
all the
not in the
time.
demo.
I fully admit there's a lot of songs out there not for me, but I can appreciate it.
Well, and then this song is coming. This is a single. It came out in July, and it'll appear on her new album, which is coming on the 19th of this month, called I'm Only Fucking Myself. Sorry for the language today, but that's the name of the album. And then she has another song called One Thing, Not Like That Anymore. Those are the other two singles that have been released so far. But I just think that she's great. And I think that this song is it's one of those where we talk about kind of sad lyrics with upbeat music.
Yeah.
Like, how sad would it be if, like, you're so frustrated, you've got to get out of town, everything is so crappy, and you think the only people that's going to miss you or care about you or even notice that you're gone is your weed guy, is your drug dealer. Like, and I love too that when she's leaving, like that's what she's packing. She's gonna pack up herself, she's gonna
Yeah.
pack up her drugs, and she's gonna get out of town. Like I'm like, well, you got to take the important stuff. I don't know.
Well, not only that's the person who's going to notice, but also tell my dealer I'll miss him, right? She
Yeah,
has that line in there where it's like, yeah,
yeah,
make sure he knows I miss him too, right? Like
yeah,
I know he's missing me. I also thought it was funny. There was a line in here. I was like, I'm not coming back for 15 years.
yeah.
And I was like, what is it about 15 years? I didn't know if there was some sort of backstory or if it was just kind of an arbitrary, almost sounds like like when kids try to think of like a long time, right? And it's just like they throw out a number and it's like, I don't know, come back for 3 months and they think that's like 1,000 years, right? So I didn't know if it kind of
Yes.
represented that a little bit.
I think you're 100% right. That's what I was going to say. I think she's young. And I think when you're
Yeah.
young, you think like 15 years is a really long time. I'm like, gee, 15 years went by in a heartbeat. Like, I'm still 37 in my head. Like, what are we talking about here? So yeah, I think it's just she's a young person, and so
Yeah.
that felt like a long time to her. But yeah, I just think I think it's a great. I like her a lot. I like her vibe. I think her lyrics are funny and playful and real, and I really I love this song. I'm excited for the new album.
Agreed. Agreed. I'm going to listen, even though, as you said, it's probably not for me.
Probably not for you, but it's good.
And that's okay. And that's okay.
Well, we're gonna get to the halfway point here with your next track, and that is a song called "That's Gonna Leave a Mark" by Molly Tuttle.
Yeah, Molly Tuttle, this is kind of a pop country sort of sound to it. I don't know if it's new country. She's from Santa Clara, so it's not like she's based out of Nashville now, but she does have Northern California roots. This thematically is just a real straight ahead kind of a love song. Like you've heard this 1,000 times in songs, but it's like kind of in love with someone she probably shouldn't love, right? And she can't help herself, and that's why you get back to this chorus of that's gonna leave a mark. So I thought it was really like kind of cleverly written. I like her voice. Her new album has kind of a bluegrass kind of feel to it a little bit. She's kind of got that in her bag, like that sort of bluegrassness. Again, I'm not sure where that comes from coming out of Santa Clara, but she's I think in Nashville now, so maybe it's just kind of something that's grown on her. But yeah, just kind of a pretty good artist, and I just like the fact that you know. I don't know. Jen, while you've given up on country after 1989, I'll still try to look for the good, you know?
I,
So
I love that
try to
about
bring
you.
some stuff out here.
I love that about you. I love that you're still trying so hard. And you know what? Like, don't get me wrong. The new artists that are coming out that sound like old country, I'm
Yeah.
here for. I love Sturgill Simpson. I
Hmm.
love Chris Stapleton. I love Chaparral.
Yeah.
Like there are there are some people that are like having a moment that I can get behind. And I thought that this song was interesting. I almost wouldn't even categorize it as country music, right? Like
Yeah.
it felt really 90s to me. It
Yeah.
reminded me of like that. Do you remember that old Donna Lewis song that
Yeah.
I love
I
you
love you always
always,
for yeah,
forever, near
yeah.
and far?
Just
Like
came on the
for
90s channel yesterday when I was driving
see,
around. Yeah.
I feel like this song gave me vibes of like that.
Yeah.
Like it's not super deep, but it's really listenable. It's
Hmm.
relatable, and she's a great guitar player. You can't like, there's no two ways about that. And I think like just to circle back to the bluegrass question too, she's really good friends with Billy Strings, and
Ah,
so I
there you
think
go.
that yeah,
Yep.
as soon as I learned that they were friends, her music made a little bit more sense to me. I was like, oh, now I kind of
Yeah.
get what she's going for. But I like this song the same way that I loved a lot of that sort of like pop that came out in the 90s that was just really easy to listen to. Not easy
Right.
listening, but like easy
Yeah, yeah,
music to
yeah.
listen to.
For sure. For sure. All right. Again, Sam's not here, but his spirit never leaves us. So, of course, track 7, Pokemon by Wet Leg.
Mm, another fave, another fave. Well, and I love too that we have like your very like clean, lovely, family friendly artists like packed in between my like raunchy. No, I'm all, who's the mom here? Not me, apparently. Wow. But I love Wet Leg. Their first album was on constant repeat for me, like could not get enough. They dropped this second album in July, actually. So this is not super new, but this song it is on the new album that dropped on July 11th. But this was not one of the singles that was released. So if you've not dug into that album, you probably haven't heard this song, which is why I included it. And if you're a fan of Wet Leg, this is kind of the softer side of Wet Leg. They're known for their like hard rocking,
Hmm.
anthems, like clever lyrics, whether it's Chaise Long, which launched them, or a great song that I love called Wet Dream, or a song, Catch These Fists was the lead single that
Yeah.
came out to launch or announce this album. All great songs. CPR, also great. But this one is soft. Like this was kind of the first time I heard them like delve into love song territory in this way. And I just thought it was so great. I'm hopeful that they don't lose their edge because, like I said, I love those hard rocking hits from Wet Leg. I think that they're again so clever and so great, and I love that these two women really like buck the system. They just do whatever they want, and people are here for it because they're like they. It's been a minute since they released that first album,
Hmm.
maybe 5 or 6 years, and
Yeah.
so everybody's just been like clamoring to get new music from them. And so I've been really pleased with this Moisturizer album. If you've not listened to it, I highly recommend.
Yeah. Now, if you're a Pokemon fan, I'm just going to warn you, this does not have a ton of Pokemon references in it,
It's
right?
true.
Yeah. And I'm only a my son is into it, so that's how I even know anything about Pokemon. But as I was listening to this, I was like, this doesn't have as much to do with Pokemon as the title might indicate.
It does
Um,
not.
but you're right. I think it is kind of a softer feel to it, and I thought it was interesting, and that this always kind of works out this way on these new music mixes, how it's placed right next to the Molly Tuttle song, because well, while that's a relationship that is probably going to go poorly again, this one sounds more promising, this
It does.
relationship, right? But interesting coming from these two artists, where you would think Molly Tuttle's sound probably indicates something more promising, where Wet Leg, maybe it might go a little rougher. So interesting kind of juxtaposition of these two artists, and both of them doing something maybe that is a little bit of a departure. But yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, me too. I like the band. I like the new album. All right, track 8. Here we are with a song you chose, Matt, called Madalena by Goose.
Yeah, so Goose is kind of a jam band. They have performed with Dead and Company and with Trey Anastasio from Fish. And what I found really interesting about them, so I just kind of just I just came across them for the first time. I'm sure they have some massive fans out there. But what's interesting is that on their studio album, they have tracks that go on for like 12 or 13 minutes, which a
No,
lot of times for the jam band, it's like the studio track is your standard 3 or 4 minute track, and then it's the live version that's like, we're going 27 minutes on this one, right?
I cannot do it with the jam bands.
Yeah. Now, I'm normally not a jam band guy, right? Like, but I thought this was interesting because it was kind of a departure, right? Like, this was a really soulful sounding song. I'm glad you're on the show this week because this one kind of reminded me of John Mayer a little bit. Of course,
Hmm.
John Mayer is now leading all things Dead and
Dead and
Company.
Company. Hmm.
So maybe that isn't as odd as maybe I thought, but I don't know. I just thought this one as a standalone song, take the jam band aspect out of it. I'm like, this is a really kind of cool song, And then when I'm listening to other tracks on this album and I'm looking down and I'm going, there's 9 minutes left. I'm like, well, okay. Maybe I'm not going to a live show, but I do love this song.
You need to practice your spinning, Matt, so you're ready to get
I'm
up
too
there in
old.
front.
Too old. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that this was an interesting song. And again, like we're going back, I referenced, Donna Lewis earlier. This one gave me really 90s vibes
Yeah.
again. And it's interesting that I would not have guessed that they were a jam band. I was not familiar with this band. I think I've heard they have a song called Hot Tea that I've heard. It's from an older album, I think from 2022. And that was really the only other song of theirs that I knew. And so this one going in again, I got 90s vibes. Like it could be, here I am busting out another random hit from the 90s, but it reminded me of that Edwin McCain song, I'll
I'll
Be.
be. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Sounded a little bit like that, or
Yeah.
like it could have been like a Matchbox 20 song.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
so I was getting a lot of those vibes too. And I didn't realize that they'd been around this long. They've been around since 2014. So
Yeah.
I was expecting them to be a much newer band than that,
Yeah.
but they were new to me.
All right, track 9. This is Jealous Type by Doja Cat.
Yay, Doja Cat's back. Again, another super mom moment as yeah, I'm blasting Doja Cat in the house. That's good for all teenage girls to hear. Like, but I just like this song will be on her new album Vi, which releases on September 25th. And apparently it's not quite done yet because she was supposed to headline ACL Fest, and it came out just late last week or early this week that she's not going to be there anymore because she needs
Oh.
to finish this album. So I think
That
like
almost
the
sounds
fact
like she's in trouble, you know?
I'm like,
well, you're not going to
ooh,
ACL if you don't finish this album.
that's right. Like, you're going to stay in the studio. You're not going anywhere, ma'am. I'm taking the keys. I'm taking the phone.
That's right. That's right.
You are in here until Vi is finished. So yeah, she's working on it currently. But I just think that this song is fun. It's fun. It's cleaner than most Doja Cat
Mm-hmm.
songs. So if you want to like listen in the car, you're not in trouble. But she's just again another one that's clever. I like her sound. I like the way she sings. I like it when she raps. Like some of her, so Kiss Me More, I think is a great song. Paint the Town Red is a great song. And I feel like Jealous Type is kind of up in that like upper echelon of her hits for me. So I'm really excited for the rest of this album. I think that this is a really good Doja Cat song.
Yeah, this gave me a lot of 80s vibes, right?
Mm-hmm.
With just,
Totally.
yeah, like the music, just the energy. I really enjoyed it. And the rapping, I mean, comes in and it's probably like you said, it's a little cleaner. It's a tad less aggressive than maybe you'd normally hear. So I just think this is like a well-produced song, right? Like they did a great job. Like this is a hit record, right? Like
Yep.
if I could be kind of old school music producer guy, it's like I totally see how this is a hit record right here,
Yep.
just because of the way it's put together. And so, yeah, I just really good job. You used it earlier, like it's not easy listening, but it's easy to listen to, and
Yeah.
I think this is in that category. So, yeah, really, really cool stuff.
Agreed. And it's also too, I don't know if this is a guy thing or not. It's probably a different playlist than a girl, but it's a fun getting ready song. Like that used to be really important. Like when you're getting ready to go out, like you
Sure.
had to have the perfect playlist to like get it together so you could go score all those free drinks, Matt. You
Well,
had to
and
be in the right
see,
mindset.
no, 100%. I get where that's coming from. Talk about like not in the demo. It takes me less than 10 minutes to get myself ready. So I don't need a playlist for that. It's
You just
really
need one Goose
I
song.
need I put on a live album from Goose or The Dead, and I'm out in less than one track. Yeah,
You don't even make it through the
yeah,
first song.
that's right. That's right.
Well, we are coming to the end of our playlist here, so we will finish. We will at least finish that today. But we are here at track 10, which is a song called "Home" by Big X the Plug and Shabuzi.
Yes. So I think I've brought tracks from both Shabuzi and Big X the Plug on the show before. Big X the Plug has a new album out, and he gets a lot of help from a lot of different artists. I think Jelly Roll is on here, and Shabuzi, and Big X the Plug is from Dallas. He just got arrested here recently,
Okay.
and so he is a local guy, right?
A local guy getting arrested.
Local guy, a local man was arrested last night, and his name goes by Big X the Plug. But yeah, so this album though has a much more country sound to it than I think his other albums. What I think is really funny is all his tracks are like 2.5 minutes. Like he gets in and gets out, right? Like it's real quick. I don't know what he does in the live version, if he does extend it out to 13 minutes or not, but maybe the complete opposite of a jam band. But I think this one stood out for me just because he's kind of rapping about either missing a person or a place, right? Like kind of someplace where he's happiest. So it's a little more emotional than I think you get from a lot of his other stuff. And then Shabuzi only adds to that. So I don't know. I thought it was a cool song, and his new album I think is pretty neat too, and maybe speaks to more of his Texas roots.
Yeah, I mean, one good thing that I'll say about this song is that if I ever need to hear Shabuzi, this gives me a different option than listening to Tipsy, a bar song for the 999,000th
All
time.
right, I'll take
So
it. I'll take it.
that's good.
Okay.
Um, this is a question I have for you, and I'm
Yeah.
being dead serious,
Dead
even though it sounds
serious.
like I'm not. I'm not sure I understand who was missing having rap in their country music. Who was missing that? Who was like,
No one.
I
I mean, I'm usually,
definitely need
yeah.
to throw 17 bars of rap into this country song.
I don't look, I'm not advocating for like country artists and rappers to get together. Like this is a Big X the Plug album. And I feel like Shabuzi's just sort of singing over. I
Right
hear this as
along.
like Shabuzi is just kind of singing over a rap track on this, right? Like and just kind of adding to it the way a lot of rappers have used, vocalists in the past. So I kind of see it as that. But to answer your question, I mean, nobody. You know,
Okay, thank you.
I I
That's
I
all I needed. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
don't care for it. No, I really don't. I really am quick to turn that pretty quickly when that happens. But anyway, it's happening more and more. I don't know. I
It
don't
is.
know.
And you know what? There's clearly an audience for it, right? Again, talking
Yes,
about not being the demo, like I am not the demo.
right.
But I thought that just in like terms of again, like a getting ready song or something fun to
Yeah,
hear. Like this song is that. It's fun to listen to. It's got a great, like it's upbeat. It feels like you're getting ready to, celebrate or have fun, something like that. So I feel like it's still a song that I enjoyed listening to. I had lots of questions as it was going. I'm
lots of
like, who is
questions.
this
That's fair.
for? I just want to know who this is for.
That's fair. This is not. You know what? In contrast to Jealous Type, this is not a hit record. Right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
10 is not going to be a radio hit or anything like that. Or Home is not going to be a radio hit where I think Jealous Type really is kind of formed for that. But your last pick, this next pick, I mean, you talk about a curveball, which I just loved. Your last pick, this is Clockwork by LaFay.
Yes, I love this artist, and there is like a ton of internet controversy about how you actually pronounce her name. I guess the way that it's pronounced in Icelandic, those sounds don't exist in English. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So we're trying with like the closest I've heard is the way you said it, Life.
how does
So
the
yes,
sound not exist?
I know.
How,
I don't know. Maybe they make like dolphin or noises. I don't know, like clicking, like
okay,
I don't know. But those sounds don't exist in English, is what I read.
okay.
So this song is, you're right, it's a total departure. It's like part Christmas Carol, part
Hmm.
princess song from a Disney movie.
Yeah.
It's got it all in there. But you know what it immediately reminded me of, which is so funny, is it reminded me of It's Oh So Quiet by Bjork, the other
Mm,
Icelandic superstar. So I'm like, they must love their old musicals or like,
yeah.
standards or like,
Or they're
it
like a
must be.
hundred years behind on music, and that's like new music to them.
Well, the funny thing is, if you go through the rest of this album, so this is from the A Matter of Time album, which was released on August 22nd. And they're the first two tracks kind of stay in this lane a little bit, and then it's not. I mean, she's definitely like a chanteuse, like she's a singer, she's a
Yeah,
a
yeah.
torch singer almost. So you do get some of it, but not in like the show tuney Disney princess kind of way that you do in this track, and then a little bit in the second, and then even though I think it's the third track is actually called Snow White, it delves into more of like her normal sound. But I just thought this was so cool. It was really unexpected. I liked it, and I think just this album in general kind of starts stronger than it finishes to me. And this is the first track on it, so I say give it if you're looking for a hard left. You're looking for something that's kind of different and kind of crazy. I like this one. And I like the story. I think it's kind of funny that she's singing about something very real and modern in this very like throwback style. That was something that intrigued me about this song as well.
Yeah, that's what stood out to me. I mean, obviously, it sounds a certain way. That's what kind of gets you right off the bat. But then lyrically, it could be a very modern song, right? And you could see it framed in a completely different way sonically, and still have it work. So,
Hmm.
I think what made it so interesting, you're right, is the theme coupled with the way she sings it and the way it's set up musically. And I don't know, I just thought this was really cool. And she being Icelandic and Chinese, which has got to be a pretty small percentage. I mean, it's 50% of our audience, but got to be rare from a musical standpoint.
The studies show that we are huge among the Icelandic Chinese demographic.
I don't know what it is, but this sound definitely exists in their language, okay?
Oh boy. Well, to round us out today, before we get ourselves into trouble, is your final pick, and one of maybe my favorite pick of yours this week, Matt, a song called Sandman by Dominic Fike.
Yeah, every month we do these new music mixes, and I always know like there's songs that I'm like, all right, I'm not going to miss on this one, right? And then so I could usually get Sam on one, and I knew with this one I was like, at the very least, I think she's going to like this song.
I love Dominic Fike.
Yeah, Dominic Fike. We've put him on the show before. He's great. He's got a new album that did come out called Rocket. This is such a great song. It's a great combination of hip hop and rap and even a little bit of like old school R&B and just calling out some lyrics. I barely catch a wink. I guess I'm not the Sandman's type. My only wish to be on your list. So, obviously dealing with some sleep issues here, and he's just thinking about someone, and he wants to be on that, throwback to Hall & Oates, right? Like wants to be on their list, right? And so
we said no yacht rock, Matt. No yacht rock.
Well, Hall & Oates is like yacht rock adjacent, right?
It is.
Yeah, adjacent, not exactly yacht rock. So, but no, I don't know. I love this song. There was probably 5 other songs I could have picked off this album to put on this mix. So I just picked this one, but everyone just go out and listen to the new album because it's great, like a lot of his stuff. So I think everyone's going to enjoy this one.
Yeah, I can't wait. If this song is like the carrot track, I'm in. I love Dominic Fike. His lyrics are always so catchy and clever, and this song is no different. It's perfect in that way. If you like Dominic Fike, you're going to like this song. And like I said, it got me excited to go listen to the rest of the album.
All right. Well, there you have it. A new music mix, this time for the month of September. Jen, thank you so much for joining me this month and helping me out with the new music mix. Jen's going to be back next month with another new music mix. In the meantime, you can join Jen and I on The Battle, of course, as we continue to try to find the ultimate yacht rock song. And you can follow us on social media, Instagram and Threads at Super Awesome Mix, and YouTube at Super Awesome Mix, where you can follow this podcast and all the shows on the Super Awesome Mix podcast network, including Jen's show, What Are You Listening To?, which has new episodes this week. Actually, we have a new episode coming out this week. So she's got season 7 just kicking off, which is very exciting. So Jen and I will work on our next new music mix for next month. But in the meantime, for Jen, this is Matt, and we'll see you then. Super Awesome Mix is brought to you by DLM. Make shopping easy with DLM, the one-stop shop for all your casual clothing needs. Shop dlmsupplyco.com and enter the promo code AWESOME at checkout to save 15% off your first purchase. That's dlmsupplyco.com.